Hey guys, this is Becca Strange with New Expression. This is our small business Q&A with Brian and Jan. This is Brian Lamoni and Jan Allison. Everybody, we're going to be answering your questions that you guys sent in for the last couple weeks today about small business marketing. We're also going to be taking questions throughout this Q&A live, so if you have a question, leave it in the comment section below and we'll get to it shortly. Also, be sure to tune in to the end of the video. Once Brian and Jan are done answering these questions, they're going to share with us their top 6 things that they wish they would have known at the very beginning of their journey and becoming new small business owners. So guys, I'm going to hand it off to you guys to tell us a little more about your experience and about yourself. Again, if you're just now tuning in, this is our small business Q&A. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Becca, and this is Brian and Jan. They're going to tell you a little more about themselves and their experience.
Well, we're glad to be here on Facebook Live today. Thanks, Becca, for hosting us today and answering and helping us answer all these questions. As I said, I'm Brian. I'm one of the owners here at New Expression. But before that, for the past 18 years, I've been in the internet world in some form of fashion. I've been building websites, helping businesses succeed, whether it's been a freelancer or owning and leading part of my own business, and now being part of New Expression. I've also helped start and close a business during 2008 kind of downturn of the economy. I know what it's like to run businesses. I know what it's like to experience loss. And so we've been able to bring those experiences into helping clients succeed here at New. And so I joined forces with New about 7 years ago, and have loved every minute of it, helping businesses succeed and taking their next steps in growing their own business.
Awesome. Jan, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, again, I'm Jan Allison. Thanks for having me here today, Becca, and hosting our program for us. Just like Brian, I've been an entrepreneur since 2003. I have grown a business from a concept to absolutely nothing all the way up to something, an entity that 8 years later I was able to sell in 2011. I experienced in 2008 the difficulty of going through the recession that we experienced and being a struggling entrepreneur during that time and trying to keep a business afloat. So I do have experience in what it's like to start from the beginning, go through, experience the rough patches, and then selling a business on the other end as well. I've been with New Expression for 5 years now. And I've been an owner for 3. Brian, Craig Phillips, and myself bought the business 3 years ago, just over 3 years ago. And we are really happy with where we've come and the team that we've established. So we're happy to be here today to share some of our experience of marketing our own businesses and how to help others grow.
All right, well, thank you guys for sharing a little more about yourself. We're going to go ahead and dive into these questions. Brian, I think this first one is for you. We're going to say, where should the money from a small marketing budget first be spent for a relatively new brand? Would that be in inbound marketing, SEO, content strategy, or more outbound marketing and branding awareness?
This is a great question to start off with. I think we first need to understand the difference between traditional and versus inbound marketing. I think most businesses want people to notice them, and so they may choose some more traditional methods to market their business. But the reality is traditional marketing methods are only talking to people who may have no interest in your business. You may be a plumber and they have no plumbing needs. So now you're spending your money marketing to people who don't have any interest in your business. Inbound marketing is marketing to people who are searching for your business online, who have a need for your service. And so when you just boil it down to numbers, I would definitely say the better return on investment is marketing to people who have an interest, who need your service right now.
Okay. Jan, with less and less people seeing my post on Facebook, is posting on Facebook even really that important anymore?
Actually, with Facebook changing their algorithms, I know it's frustrating to see engagement decline, as it has been for several months now. However, Facebook is still very relevant to a business. It's important for you to build those relationships with the people that you have, your fans, your followers on the page. Whether your engagement is with 5 of those people or 500 of those people, it's still important to make sure you're connecting with them because people buy from who they know and trust. So it's important to keep that continued relationship going. It's also, the other thing that you can do with Facebook to get more engagement is to be posting videos, just like we're doing here today, and using links. Those are the things that the algorithm favors currently. So you get more interaction on those type of links, you get more visibility, and it will help you reach more of your followers.
Awesome. Brian, with social media so prominent these days, how important is it for our company's website for our overall strategy?
It's a great question. So we look toward these social media accounts as they are free to use, and we think that using those are a great tool for your business. And as Jan said, social media is a fantastic way to get your business and your message out to people. But the problem is with these social media accounts, you're not in control of them. Facebook changes, Instagram is changing, Twitter's changing, YouTube's changing. All these social media tools are changing. And we have to keep up with them. And so if we're not adapting, we're not going to be able to use them effectively. But related to your website is one tool in your tool belt that you can own yourself. You control the message on it. You control what people see. You control how people find it. And so we would say that more than social media, that your website is actually first and foremost should be your go-to strategy. You need to use social media to drive people to your website. And if you're only focusing on social media, Facebook, Twitter, they could change tomorrow and change your entire strategy. Mm-hmm. And you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. You want to put your eggs in a basket that you can control and own, which is your website.
Perfect. Brian, what is the difference between marketing for a small business rather than a large corporate business?
Good question. I think it boils down to relationships. I think whether you're on social media or for your website, I think we just got to scale it from large to small. I think we need to look towards businesses who are doing it really well, companies like Zappos and companies that are living their vision out in their brand. And so obviously there's no way we can be Zappos today, but finding companies that are doing it really well and scaling it down to a way that we can manage ourselves. And so maybe it's something that you can't do today, but maybe something that you can grow into. Start small and market your business focused on relationships and focused on your product and doing something excellently that your competition can't do.
Awesome. Jan, I've heard that you should start a blog. What is the importance of starting that blog?
A blog has a lot to do with, again, building relationships, but it also has to do with search engine optimization, which we're going to talk about a little bit more here shortly. The blog, the biggest benefit is it builds rapport with your clients and your customers. Relating back to the Facebook question, the blog is an excellent thing to share on Facebook and other social media because it creates engagement on those pages, but it also drives traffic back to your website. Your blog builds credibility. It poses you as the authority or the expert on your field, on your specific field. It improves your search rankings, which I just mentioned. And then the one thing that you have to be careful with your blog is you have to make sure that it's part of your website for it to be most effective for you as a business. If you build it on a separate platform and you're driving traffic to that platform, you aren't helping yourself with search engine optimization. So you want to make sure that you have an active blog on your own website to get the best benefits of it.
Awesome. Hey, Brian, should we consider Google Ads to help our business grow?
Great. Most people want to consider things that are going to help drive traffic to their website or drive quality leads. And the question is, do we use Google Ads or what industry known as pay-per-click ads, paying for people to click and see your website? And the answer is, I think it's something that you should consider. Those people are interested in your service. So you can focus your ads to only be seen by people who are searching for your business. So maybe you're an electrician in Winston-Salem. If you want your ad to be seen by people who are only in the Winston-Salem area and they're searching for electrician needs, then those people are actually interested in your business. The challenge is only a small percentage of people who are searching actually click ads, anywhere between 10 to 30%, depending on your industry. And so if it's an online type business, that percentage is going to be higher, but if it's more of a service related business, it's going to be a little bit slower. The great thing about Google Ads is you can turn it on and off your budget on any given day. You are in complete control of your budget, unlike a commitment to maybe a TV station or a radio station where you have to make a 12-month commitment to be online or on a radio or even television commercial. So Google Ads allows people to get in front of people at a low budget to get started.
Okay, with technology constantly changing and I can't keep up with all the new trends, do you have any recommendations on how to keep up with that changing pace?
I mean, it's changing every day. I love technology. I've always loved it. I love changing and trying new things, and I think that's one of the reasons why I enjoy being part of the New Expression team, because we're always on the edge of chasing the newest technologies. But even for me, as a student of this technology, it is hard for me to keep up with. So I would start finding some online blogs and follow those in your industries, finding websites that are authoritative on the subjects that you're interested in. Follow people on social media who are doing it really well. Mm-hmm. And I would second that by saying partnering with a company who are students of this technology. I know that because we're a creative agency, it may sound like we're just trying to sell ourselves, but whether you choose to partner with New Expression or someone else, I think you need to find a company that you trust that can be students of this technology, because it's super hard to keep up with. If that's what we're living and breathing, it's hard for us to keep up with, it's going to be extra hard for you to keep up with. So I would find someone that you can partner with and trust to get the expertise from.
Well, we keep hearing this buzzword SEO, and we're not really sure what it is. Jan, can you kind of help explain this?
Yes, SEO is search engine optimization, and it's defined as the process of getting found online. But I'm going to share a little story with you for a better understanding. So let's say you're my new employee. You just started here a few days ago, and you've been working really hard. You have been staying late. You have been very diligent at getting everything done that I've asked you and making sure it's done to the very best of your ability. So after a few days, you come into my office and you say, "Can I have a raise? I've been working really hard, and maybe even I'd like your job." What is my response going to be?
No.
Pretty much, yeah. No, Becca, maybe we should talk about this. But if you think about that the same way with Google and search engine optimization, just because you put a website out there and it's a brand new, beautiful website, includes video and a new blog, doesn't mean that you are all of a sudden entitled to knock out someone who has been blogging for the last 3 years, or has been updating their content, or has been around for a long time. So that's just it's really difficult sometimes for people to understand search engine optimization. So that's just a story we use in trying to explain it, because in both cases you need to prove yourself for longer than just a few days. It takes time, and you need to go along and have a couple years behind you, and then you can have that promotion, Becca.
Okay, Brian, I am a new business owner without a website. What are the first steps to getting online?
Great. Well, I think a lot of people try to do it themselves. And as we earlier, in some of our questions that we've already spoken about, I think it's important for us to partner with people who are doing it well. So getting online, the first step would be if you have a brick and mortar business, if you have an office that people can come to, getting a Google My Business account. It's been known as a Google Plus account. It's been known as a Google Local account. They've changed their name like 85 times in just the past 2 years. The point is, having a place where people can find you online through the Google platform is probably your number one solution. It's free to create, and just by creating an account and mailing a postcard back into you with a code, you can get online and starting to be found. It's also a place that you can start getting reviews about your business. Google favors people who have great reviews. And so that's a great, easy step for businesses who are brand new, who have a location office that can do something for free. I think the next step is building a website. I think if you build your website months or even years after you've started, you've missed a great opportunity. I would say building your website before you even launch is a great way to help with what Jan's been saying about SEO. Getting ranked takes time, and so the sooner that you can get online with a website, that's been optimized so Google can like you, the better results you're going to have for your success.
Awesome.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Becca. Can I ask a quick question, Brian, with what you were saying? What if I'm on page 1 and I'm number 5 or I'm number 1? What's the difference?
Good question. Well, most people know that people don't go past page 1. When you're searching yourself, you're not going past page 1. You're clicking one of the very first few links. But studies show that the first link that you see on a Google result generates about 33% of that traffic. So say you have 1,000 people that are searching for your business services that you offer. 333 people are clicking that first link. The second one bottoms out at 17%, so only 170 people are clicking. You going down to the third and fourth spot, you're less than 5%. And after that, no one's finding you. And so it's super important to be not only on page 1, but near the top if you want to get leads to your website and grow your business.
Thanks.
Cool. Jan, how should I target a specific age group when posting on social media? What are the best times to do so?
Each platform on social media has a specific age range or demographic that tends to be using those platforms. Facebook tends to be a little bit older population, not a lot older, but just a little bit older. I'm sensitive to this answer. Instagram, it tends to be more for millennials and the younger generation that are following along. And Twitter has a variety of followers, tend to be more a business professional on the Twitter forums. There are certain times that are best for Twitter, talking about the professional individuals. Twitter posts are best before and after work hours, but especially in the early evening hours. Facebook is preferential to the afternoon time. You would see if you're targeting towards mothers that are home with their children or anything like that in your audience, while those kiddos are napping, the moms are playing on Facebook or social media, and it's a good time to target any type of product that you might have to that audience. Another good time that was a little surprising to me when I was doing my research was Saturdays at noon are a good time for Facebook. I wouldn't have thought that. I would have thought that people would be out doing things. The last platform that I have information for is Instagram, and the times that are best for that are anytime Monday through Thursday, except 3 to 4 p.m. So the only thing I can think of that's going on at 3 to 4 p.m. is pick up after school, kids are doing stuff. I'm not sure exactly why that was the exception, but Instagram is definitely in the afternoons, Monday through Thursday.
Okay, cool. Brian, I have had a new website for a few years, and I'm not getting any new leads or phone calls from it. What do you think I'm doing wrong?
It's a great question. I can certainly understand your frustration because you've made an investment for your business by building a website. You've partnered with a company, or maybe you've done it yourself, so you spend a lot of time, but it's not coming back to you. You're not getting the leads. There can be two different things. Number one, the website has to look great. You only have about 5 seconds to capture someone's attention. When they come to your website. They immediately judge a book by its cover. And so if they're not interested in what they're seeing, they're never going to click to email you. They're never going to pick up the phone and call you. But your website may look great. It may be mobile friendly. It may have engaging information on there. You may even have a video. There may be a lot of great things about your website, but you're still not getting it. You're still not getting those phone calls. And I would say it's because of the traffic. You're not getting people directed to your website. And that all goes back to being found online. If people are searching for your services that you provide, if they're searching for a plumber, if they're searching for a contractor, if they're searching for the things that you do, and you're not on page one, they're never going to find you. And so I would say that the first thing you got to do is build a great looking website so people are attracted when they get there. And number two, you've got to optimize it so people can find you. And that's all related to doing the things that drive traffic related to SEO.
Okie-dokie. Jan, what's the difference between traditional and inbound marketing?
Well, Brian spoke about this a little bit before, but just to give you a general idea, traditional marketing is considered interruption marketing. It's TV, radio, direct mailers, something where it's kind of like a shotgun approach. You're just throwing it out there to see if anybody needs your services at that exact moment in time and hope that it sticks. The inbound marketing is a lot of what we've been talking about. It's when someone is looking for your service. I'll use Brian's plumber example. Traditional marketing is sending a flyer out to everyone in a neighborhood or a door hanger that says, hey, I'm a plumber, call me when you need me. Well, they may hang on to it, they might not, but when they need a plumber, the first thing they're going to do is turn to the internet, and they're going to search to find a plumber in the area that they live. And that's inbound marketing. That's making sure you're found at the top of those search engines.
Cool. Our next question is for Brian. Besides social media, what are the best ways to market?
I think getting a presence, saturating your message in different mediums is going to be helpful. Making sure that you have print material that are encouraging people to learn more about your business. So brochures, business cards, quality material that people can get in that. I think encouraging people to have referral business. So one of the best ways to get new business is doing a great job with the current customer that you have. So if you exceed the customer's experience, they're going to be your biggest megaphone about your business to all of their friends and businesses. And so if you disappoint them, they're also going to be your biggest megaphone, and you're not going to grow. And so I think referral marketing is something that would be a great thing. There's networking groups that you can be involved in. We're in many different networking groups, whether it's an organization like BNI, which is Business Networking International, where you hold a seat for the industry that you serve, or even chamber events. So we're part of the Louisville Clemens Chamber. It's a great opportunity to get in front of people that are like-minded, learn from them, and then even take that next step and refer you as a business.
Awesome. So I think that we have our first live question.
Oh,
Thanks,
wow.
guys.
Woo.
So what is your favorite thing about being a small business owner? I'll let either of you guys answer this.
I'll go first on that one. My favorite thing is that I don't have Sunday night dread. So many people in what they do these days, Sunday nights, they're dreading going and starting the work week, and oh my gosh, the weekend was so fast, and I can't believe that it's Monday already. Well, I don't not look forward to Mondays or Tuesdays or Wednesdays. I really enjoy coming to work. I enjoy being in control of my own hours and my own destiny, and my own success.
Awesome. Brian, do you want to touch on that?
Yeah, I'll touch on that. It's often a joke that Jan and I sometimes share a brain because I was thinking the word destiny. I think being able to determine where my future is going, I think is something that is very interesting to me. I want to make sure that I'm providing for my family, and sometimes just because of my entrepreneurial spirit, I want to make sure that I am in control of where I'm headed. And so as a business owner, we're able to set the vision, we're able to set the culture of who New Expression is, and we have people that are itching to work with us. We have people who are itching to be an employee at New Expression. And that's because of the culture that we've created here. People love working here, not just Jan, but our entire team. And so it's a privilege to come to work, and it's a privilege to be able to lead a great group of people as part of New. So,
Just to add to that, what Brian was going is we definitely have a fantastic team, as you know, Becca, and are a part of, but we have 10 of us here, and we just all enjoy coming to work and doing everything together each day, and that's just very rewarding for me.
All right. Well, we, as your employees, we definitely appreciate you guys as your small business owners. Brian, I think this next question is for you. As we move into 2017, what are 3 things I should be doing to grow my business online?
great question. What is very trendy right now is getting involved in video. Facebook Live is blowing up on Facebook, and we want to make sure that we are using the new trending methods to get in front of people. So I would consider getting involved in anything video, whether it's producing a video production that tells people about the experience that they're going to have when they walk through the doors, or jumping into things like this, Facebook Live. It's a great way to get in front of people. So that's number one, video content. I would say if you've not invested in SEO, or maybe you have and you've been burned, you've partnered with a company who has not provided the results that you need, I would say that you've got to invest in it. You've got to find a great company who has a proven track record, who have reviews, and that you can talk with people and get references. And number three is related to reviews. People buy from people they know and trust. And if they don't know your business, they're going to look at information online about you. They don't care about necessarily your website. They care what people are saying about your company. And so I would say that you've got to get people leaving reviews for you on Facebook, on Google, on Yelp are three great things to be able to get interest online for you. So, great.
That's too cool. There's so many different options to be able to expand your business nowadays, and it's good to hear you guys say that. Jan, it feels like every post on Facebook in my newsfeed is video, just like Brian mentioned. You know, how important is video content to the success of our business in the future?
Video is really important to the success because video does something that words and pictures can't. It builds a connection. It builds, a relationship with the person that you're speaking to in the video, or the person that you're educating if it's an explainer type video. The other thing that's important with video and the future of your business is that it's a connection with millennials. Marketing to millennials is much different than any traditional marketing that we've ever done. And millennials want to be able to go to a Facebook page or go to a website and be able to experience your business before they actually walk in the door. And video is a great way to do that. Just to share a couple stats with you as well, videos are processed by the brain 60,000 times faster than text. And also people don't have a really good staying with their reading and stuff like that. You only have a few seconds when someone's reading to make a really good impression, or they're not going to continue to go on. But video overcomes that obstacle. Videos are also 38% more likely to people who watch a video are 39% more likely to share content if it's delivered in that format. So as opposed to blog posts or just making comments or links on a social media platform, you're going to be more likely to be shared 39% of the time if it's in a video format.
Wow, that is insane. I think that we have another live question, so let's tune in and see what they have to say. What is the most important advice you would give to a new small business owner? Which one of you guys wants to take this?
You want to start first on this one?
Sure, I'll give you time to think about your answer.
Thank you.
I can answer this 1,000 different ways. I think the thing that I've been learning as a business owner this year is how important your words that you create as far as your culture that you have as a business. As a business owner, you get to determine the experience that your customers are going to have. You also get to determine the experience that your employees are going to have. And so you've got to have a vision that you're chasing after. The vision is the words that you put in place that define how you're going to run your business. And words matter. And so we've learned as a business that we want to make sure that all of our team members are speaking in the same language. When we speak the same language, our customers are able to better understand what we're saying, and better able to experience the growth from what we're trying to get from them with a success rate. And so I would say that creating a good vision about where you're going, good vision statement, and then secondly, having a common core of words that you and your employees know what to use and how to use it.
My advice would be to seek out individuals who are experts who can help you. So often when you're starting a new business, you're doing it alone and you feel like this is just me, I'm doing this from home, or I'm doing this from my small office, and I've got to figure this all out myself. But there are a lot of places out there that you can get advice and expertise from people who have done this before. I personally love it when we have someone come in for a consultation meeting who is a new business. It's a passion of mine to be able to help small businesses. So I usually, even if I've never had anything to do with their type of business, I'm like, oh, you could do this and you could do that, and oh, what about this way for marketing? And that's something that I just really enjoy doing. So I think whether it's talking to us or talking to someone else, just reaching out to your small business community centers, like at the Forsyth Tech, or any other free advice that you can receive. I would not take free advice from everyone, let me quantify that, but someone who has had experience and doing those things, not just a friend of a friend, but someone who has had experience who can help you navigate the waters so that you don't have to learn some of those difficult things the hard way.
Okay. Jan, I don't have a Facebook account, nor am I on any type of social media as an owner of a small pet sitting business. How can social media increase my business? Which social media outlets would you recommend for my type of business?
As a pet sitting business, you are like sitting in one of the best seats you can as far as being able to take advantage of social media. One of the things that gets the best engagement on Facebook and Instagram and such is anything to do with a dog or a cat, something cute and furry and fluffy. So you have a very unique opportunity there. The benefit of getting on Facebook would be that it would increase your business by word of mouth and by referrals. Every time you go out and you take care of a pet, you need to put a picture of that pet up on your Facebook page and say, today we were visiting with Jackson, or today we went and saw a tiger and he was running around chasing a mouse. And you can take a little video and put the video of him chasing the mouse. Anything like that are things that people watch, they share. The individual whose animal it is might share it on their Facebook page. And then you're going to have people go, oh, who took care of your pet? And that's a great way of word of mouth referral to be able to help you grow your business. The platforms to start with, I would choose Facebook and Instagram first if I had a pet sitting business. But the most important thing of whatever platform you do is you need to be active. You need to be on it regularly, not obsessively, but regularly. Otherwise, if someone comes to your Facebook page to look and see what you're doing or what is about your business, and your last post was 6 months ago, they could think you're out of business.
Mm-hmm. Brian, what are the best ways to market your business on a website?
It's a great question. It's not necessarily marketing your website, but marketing within your website is the question. So I think having clear calls to action. We want to make sure that you're helping people journey through your website. And so if you want people to call you, then your phone number needs to be very clear and front and center. If you want people to complete a quote form, then that needs to be front and center. But they need to understand how much you care. And so building a website that's personal helps with the engagement. As I said earlier to a question, you only have about 5 seconds to capture someone's attention. And so if they don't like what they see, they're not going to stay on your website. So your website's got to be built in a way that's going to be engaging so they can get to the pieces of information that you want them to be. Maybe you have events that are part of your business, and the question is how to get that in front and center. Well, if people can't find those events on your website, they're never going to find your events and come to your events. And so the other piece of that is also making sure that your website is shareable. So whether you're blogging or whether it's an event, people that can click the share button or the tweet button or the like button, whatever form of social media they're interested in sharing it with their friends, would be a great way to encourage people to take your message and share it with others.
One of our last questions, what are the benefits of building a brand?
I'll take that. So building a brand is definitely having a logo that is recognizable. Your logo doesn't necessarily have to exactly speak to who you are as a business, but it's got to be done in a way that's simple and clean, that represents who you're going to be as a business. And so most of the time people just put their, as a new business, they don't understand the importance of a logo. And I would say the logo is what brings everyone together about your brand and your business. So whether they're picking up a business card or a brochure, or they're going to your website, or they even see your truck driving down the road, or maybe you're having someone come to your home to fix something, they see your logo on that truck. It brings consistency. And so when they see your brand, when they see your information out there, they're able to either have a great response because you've done such a great job, or maybe they also may not have a good response about your brand. And so you want to make sure that it's not just about your logo, it's about giving an experience, a great experience to the customer. So when they see your logo, they have warm and fuzzy inside about your business.
Okay, I think we have another live question. So we're going to go to that. When purchasing an existing business, do you recommend taking on the existing name or changing it?
I'm going to let you filter that since it comes a lot to do with domain.
That's a great question. I think you've got to determine whether that business has a good reputation in the community. I would say if it doesn't, I wouldn't buy the business. That's number one. If you are trying to when you're naming a business, you have two kinds of forms of ways to name a business. You can either name a business by what it does. So if you're a plumber, we keep picking on plumbers today, but if you're a plumber, your name is Joe, you can name your business Joe's Plumbing Service. The problem with that is that name limits you to only doing plumbing. Now, could you add electricity into your business? Of course you can. But the name does not allow you to get outside of the service that you do. The alternative is to name a company generally speaking. So like New Expression. New Expression allows you to become whoever New Expression wants to become. I mean, we literally could be a salon. I mean, if we wanted to be. We won't be, but I promise you. I don't need to be cutting hair. But if we wanted to be, we could be. And so there's pros and cons to that, because now we've got to help our community understand who New Expression is. So when it comes to an existing business, I would say cautiously don't change the name, because you have probably if you purchase a business, you're getting also a domain and a website that you're buying. If that website is any more than 1 year old, that domain name is valuable. If you're buying a business that has had a website since like early 2000, that's like platinum. I mean, that's gold. That is incredible. And so even if the business has never invested in SEO, getting you found even higher, you're buying something that's valuable to Google. And so while you can change a company's name without changing the domain name, but I would caution you to just go change everything, especially your domain name, because Google has already given authority to that domain name, especially if it's been around for a few years. So that's a hard thing. I think it depends on every individual business, but I think that people don't realize how important that domain name is, and I think that's what I would drive my decision on.
That's an awesome answer. Okay, guys, I think we have wrapped up all of our questions for today. Thank you, Brian and Jan, for sharing your expertise and your knowledge with all of us and answering our questions and sharing your experience. I think to wrap things up, I would like to know from each of you the top 6 things that you wish that you would have known as a new business owner. Brian, you want to start?
Hindsight's always 20/20. It's always easier to look back and see the decisions that you made, and maybe they were great decisions, and so you can repeat them, and maybe they're decisions that you would change. So looking back, it's a lot easier to have this, but I think that learning from people who have made wise decisions, and even poor decisions, is helpful to running your own business in the future. So my first thing is that there's no such thing as overnight success. I think that we look at companies like Facebook, Instagram, even going back to Google when they started, or Microsoft, and we see how they just all of a sudden blew up online. But we don't see how many years and how much money was invested to get to that point. And so I think most people underestimate how much time and how much money it takes to start a successful business. So I would say that my number one thing is to count the cost from a time perspective and also a money perspective. If you have no money to start a business, my personal gut reaction is don't start a business. Truly. Time is not money, always. You need money and time to be able to have a successful business.
One of the things I wish I had known was 4 individuals that I would have hired right from the beginning. building off of Brian saying it takes money to start a business, there are some people that you do really need to hire right at the forefront. The first is an accountant to make sure that you're, keeping your bookkeeping correct. And everything so that you are able to file your taxes easily. You aren't handing someone a box full of slips at the end of the year. It's important if you set that up properly right at the very beginning, which you can do for a small investment, that you won't have those struggles in the future. Second is an attorney. An attorney will help you set up your business properly, whether that's an LLC, an S Corp, or however you want to manage your business. But it's important to protect the assets of your business and also your family. Should you ever run into a problem and someone sue you or anything like that in a business, an attorney on the front end will help you avoid those situations. Next is pertaining to the logo design, a graphic designer. That was one of the things I did in my very first business. I scrounged together enough to be able to have a logo created, and that name and that logo was transferred with my business when it was sold. And it's very recognizable, and that was just one of the very best things that I did. The last would be a website designer, because you need a strong foundation to build your success off of. And as Brian spoke to, getting a website out there quickly and getting your domain established and your name established is going to help drive traffic to you.
Awesome.
I think the second thing I would say is surrounding yourself with great people. I look back through the things that I'm good at. I'm a tech person. I'm good with computers, and so oftentimes I'm known as the IT person for New Expression. And the reality is I don't need to be messing around with IT needs. A few years ago, we were installing a new server for our internal kind of network, a Mac server, and I thought it was going to be easy to do. Well, I spent 3 days of my time when I should have been building websites or helping our clients succeed, when I should have just hired someone and hired them for 4 hours. I did it because I didn't feel like we had the money to spend. But my time is more valuable building people's successes from our client standpoint than helping me and our company with IT needs. That's just one small example. But then also hire great people. Your company is only as great as your weakest link. So if you're not happy with the people who are on your bus, if you're not happy with your team, it's because of something that you've done. You've hired your team. And so I would say surround yourself with great people by hiring great people who can do the things that you can't.
Awesome. Jan, it's another one for you.
Another one for me is to make sure you love what you're doing. I do love what I'm doing now. And it's like what I spoke to before. You're going to be working on this extremely hard. You're not going to be just working on it from 9 to 5. You're going to live and breathe and sleep and dream and have nightmares about your small business. But you also get a lot of chances to celebrate your success, not to make it sound like it's impossible. But you need to love what you're doing. If it's something you think, well, I'm going to do this just to make money in, and you don't really like what you're doing, you're not going to be successful, because that's going to come across to your customers.
What's your last thing, Brian?
I know we spent a lot of time talking about websites and SEO today, but that's my bottom line. If you're interested in starting a business and you wait 6, 8, 12 months, even 18 months to build a website, you're waiting for your success to start. I would say that the sooner that you can get online with a website, even if you haven't even opened your doors, having a landing page, having a website that talks about what is coming allows Google to notice you. And so I would say invest in a quality website, don't do it yourself, and invest in SEO. And find a company that's reputable that can help you with that.
All right, Jan, your last thing.
My last piece of advice is to develop a really strong 1-minute pitch of what you're doing in your business. Make sure you can tell people concisely what you're doing. You don't want to be kind of like, well, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and kind of hem and haw around it. You want to be able to tell someone exactly what you're doing, because they're going to have a short attention span when you're meeting new people. And you need them to be able to realize what you do, be able to determine if they need your help or if they know someone else who can use your services. So work on that 1-minute pitch right from the very get-go.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for letting us rack your brain and sharing your advice and your knowledge and your experience with us and answering all of our questions. We're going to wrap up our small business Q&A. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure that tomorrow at 12:15 you tune back in. Tori and I will be hosting our bi-weekly What's Happening in Winston-Salem. So you can check out our Halloween edition and see what's going on this weekend and see what kind of fun you can get into. We might be dressed up, we might not. You'll just have to tune in to see. Again, thank you. This was Brian Jan, and this was our small business Q&A. I'm Becca, and we out.